Good Tuesday afternoon to all. Hope you are doing well. I remember many, many years ago in yeshiva, hearing before Hanukkah a very well known midrash that as the Syrian Greeks were enforcing their decrees upon the people in Yehuda, in Israel, so the midrash tells us that they informed the people of Israel, Kitvu lachem al keren hashor she'en lachem chelek be'elokei Israel, right? Write on the bull's horn, keren hashor, she'en lahem chelek, en lachem chelek. You no longer have a portion with the God of Israel. And it's a midrash that's analyzed by many of the commentators as to what exactly was this idea of etching it or writing it on the bull's horn, Keren Hashor. What's the significance? And some would give insights that perhaps it relates to the school of Yosef. Yosef was called the Chor Shor, like an ox, involved in the physical world. And perhaps it's telling the people of Israel that as you are involved in the physical world, forget about the God of Israel, detach yourself from spirituality. So that was one insight. A few years after hearing it, someone shared with me the following insight. I don't know if it's true, but it's an insight that was shared. That in those days, when you would want to provide for a baby a liquid, you needed a bottle. So how do you get a bottle? So today you go to Walmart, but in those days it was common to take the horn of a bull, make a small hole, and it would serve as a bottle. So the idea of recording something on a Keren Hashor, on the bull's horn, was the idea that a child from a very young age, right, as he is still sucking on a bottle, already from that period in his life, make it clear to him, teach him that he should know we no longer have anything to do with the God of Israel. That was the decree of the Greeks, and that is the story of Hanukkah, the success of overcoming such an environment and bringing back Elokei Israel, the God of Israel, into our life. So that was an insight that's shared. And the truth is, Hanukkah relates a lot to chinuch. Some even look at the word Chanukah, chinuch. It's to educate, it's to inspire the next generation. And sometimes you think about it, some of the Jewish holidays, like the Seder, quite often by the time you eat the matzah, the young child is asleep, or perhaps should be asleep the way he's behaving, because it could be 11 o'clock at night. And Hanukkah is a time when we gather as families, and as early as possible, especially here in the northern hemisphere, 5:15 p.m., right? 5:20, you try to the best of your ability as early as you can. You light the Hanukkah candles. It's an experience. It is one that the child is inspired by, and he is sure, right? It makes Yiddishkeit part of his life. He realizes that it is exciting, it is beautiful, it is meaningful, right? All kind of good things are done, and you are sure that the next generation knows yesh lanu chelek, right? We, Baruch Hashem, have the ability of having Jewish continuity. So it's a time to celebrate who we are, and also to celebrate the fact that there's continuity. There's a future, a much, much better future waiting for us. It's a time of happiness, of optimism, and light. So let's go ahead and bring that light into the world. And as we see the light at the end of the tunnel with what we are facing during this period of time, let's remember we always should be grateful. Grateful, lehodot, lehalel, leshabech, to praise the Almighty for the incredible gifts, for our ability to live in a country where we could go ahead and perform it in a public way, right? A lot to be grateful, especially being knowledgeable of our history. So it should be a meaningful season. A happy Hanukkah to all, and let's keep up the good work. A wonderful day. Bye-bye.